Hey marketing legends, it's Bren here. As you may or may not know, I've spent tons of times working with a variety of different industries and business owners right around the world, but I have somewhat specialized with contractors and construction companies, and I have seen a ton of different things in and around the marketing of construction and contractors. I've seen the great, the bad, and the absolutely disgustingly ugly, and I have seen some common trends. And what I want to discuss with you in today's video is the common mistakes that I see jamming on the handbrake for contractors and construction companies. These are the things that I've seen time and time again stopping you from growing your business, whether you're a contractor or construction company. And actually, it doesn't really matter if you're in any industry. These are common things that I've seen in almost every business that is struggling to grow and have successful marketing. But just before we jump over to my computer, I just want to remind you that I have a ton of videos about construction marketing and contractor marketing. I go through the what, the why, and the how. I show examples and I give you click-by-click tutorials. So if you're interested in that stuff, jump into my channel, wander through the playlists, browse the videos, and you will be all the better for it. And that's probably a great reason why you should subscribe and like this video. That way you're always getting a notification when I'm producing content just like this that will probably, and I hope, will help you with your business. So with that being said, let's jump over to my computer and we'll go through the common mistakes. So here we are on my computer, and what I want to do is just jump straight in, no fluff or any wasting of time. So the first common mistake that I see is people not having a unique selling proposition, a point of difference. Now I know that people roll their eyes about this kind of crap all the time and they think, well, it's too hard, or we're all the same. That's not always true. So within like construction and contractors specifically, and I just had this brought up with a prospective new client really recently. He said that I feel like we've lost a few jobs, and I've had some feedback about losing a few jobs because we don't specialize in a particular area of contracting or a particular area of construction. Now I've heard this tons of times, like probably triple digit, not just within the construction and contractor world, but around a whole variety of different industries with people that I work with. And I've seen it in demonstration where e-commerce, for example, I saw a young guy selling, I can say this, health supplements, and he added a product line. And because he become like the non kind of supplement specialist, he kind of like diluted that power that he had in regards to supplements, because people were seeing the clothing line, and who knows what was happening mentally within people's heads, whether it was, is he a jack of all trades and a master of none? Are they getting distracted because of the clothing? It doesn't matter what the actual psychology is and the reason is, it just had a dramatic result on his revenue. It dropped by, I think it was just under or just over 19%. So it was a pretty substantial amount of revenue in terms of percentages, and actually quite a reasonable amount of revenue also in absolute numbers. But when it comes to you guys, there's a number of different ways to specialize. You can actually niche down in terms of the area of focus. So if you're let's say that you're a contractor that does bathroom, kitchens, decks, extensions, etc. People might see you a jack of all trades, but a master of none. So you might lose a bathroom deal here and there. But not only that, if I've had some clients that have just repositioned the business just to go down kitchens, just to go down bathrooms or whatever. And I've had some others that have created a separate business. So they've still got ABC construction, or ABC whatever, detailing, all the stuff that they do around a spectrum of different things. But then they also have this, bathroom business or kitchen business or roofing or something like that. I'm sure you get the idea. So you can niche down. There's also an element of just touching upon that, is that if you have multiple services, it's also important to build the credibility and proof around those specific services very intensely and very specifically, because your proof and credibility can be a jack of all trades and a master of none. You want your proof to be specific to the service in which you're trying to market. Some other ways to create a point of difference is, what do you do and how do you do it? So the what we've kind of covered, but how do you do it? So for example, I worked with a paving company, and it was one of the first, I think, paving companies I ever worked with. And I was having a chat to the business owner. I said, what's the technique? Like, not knowing much about paving, like thought that was a bit of a stupid question, to be honest, but you never know what stupid questions are going to uncover. And he said, oh, we use this technique, etc. And I said, oh, how did you learn this technique? And he said, well, the Romans used it, back in the day when they, built Rome, etc. I'm like, how come you don't tell people this? Like, you can say that, we use the same technique that the Romans do, and that stuff, those paths and roads, etc., they're still there today. This is like thousands of years later, 2,000 years later, the roads are still there, and we use the same technique. That's how you can trust that what we do will last, and our craftsmanship is just as good because we use the same techniques. So you're kind of like leveraging status and credibility there, but also enforcing your own like skill set and experience and knowledge and your unique selling system. But you might be thinking, well, all pavers might do that, but it counts for nothing if the market doesn't actually know that. So that's another kind of way. It's also interesting and important to demonstrate your unique proposition. I refer to it as a unique mechanism because it just fits me mentally better. It's like, what kind of mechanism, like an engineering kind of mechanism. It just suits me better to think about it. But demonstration's important, and this is why I got these guys up for a number of reasons. But specifically, they are demonstrating their technology around extending the roof life, right? So that's their unique kind of selling proposition or unique mechanism. It's about extending the roof life without spending anywhere near the same amount of money as a new roof. Now, that one might seem obvious, but demonstrating it and proving it is powerful, because people might be thinking, well, I don't know much about the service. If any roofers are watching this going, Bren's absolutely lost his damn mind. There might be an element of truth to that, but forgive me if that is the case. But at the end of the day, that you need to demonstrate, or these guys need to demonstrate that service, and as you do, to your unique mechanism in relation to how it works and how it benefits the end user. So if you want to have a look at these guys, you can just type in Facebook Ads Library into Google. You can just type in Roof Max with a XX, and you can have a look at some of these videos. And I'm going to touch upon these guys in a few moments, because these guys are doing fantastically well, and these guys are making bank. Like these guys, I would assume, they're having six-figure months, possibly well into six-figure months in the loose amount of research that I just did. Next, what I want to touch upon is, within construction and contracting, the service that you provide is often one of the most expensive purchases anyone will ever make. It can be thousands of dollars, it can be tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of dollars, even tens of millions of dollars with commercial construction companies that I work with. People do not take these decisions lightly. It's, as I said, it's some of the most, it's the most amount of money some people will ever spend potentially, or they will not spend it very often. So they do their due diligence and spend a little bit of time about making a decision. The problem is with that is that if you're early in the decision-making process, are you forgotten about? Most likely, yes. Now, also is that everyone starts at the top of the decision-making process, and they branch out depending upon the particular service, the niche. Do they find businesses, for instance, that match their USP, or the company's USP match the actual need or want that the prospect have? So instead of being just a generic kind of funnel, it actually branches down into multiple branches the further you go down in the funnel. Now, the thing is with that is that how do you constantly nurture that prospect? Now, I like to refer it as dating. Most contractors and construction company, and most businesses for that matter, ask for marriage on the first date, which is nuts. We can get into that, in another video potentially, but probably a waste of time. But it's nuts. No matter if it's male to female, female to male, male to male, female to female. It's crazy no matter which way. It's such a risk to say yes. So people don't ask because it's just crazy. But people do it in the construction world. They ask for the consultation, the inquiry, etc. But the person may not know enough in order to actually become a lead yet. They're worried about their own risk and their own self-interest. So what you need to do is force the second and third date, not a politically correct statement, but you can do that. So like with retargeting and remarketing within the Google and Facebook ads platform, you can take someone at the top of the awareness funnel and then show them an ad, and based upon their engagement or based upon their behavior, remember, word to cheat, base things on what people do instead of what they say. So if you have a video, like I'm going to use these guys as an example in a moment, is that what can happen is that someone that watches your 2-minute video for longer than 60 seconds has an interest. We can show them follow-up videos. And what I mean by this is that after the second, third, fourth date, you have a higher chance of getting a yes to the marriage question. Still nuts, but that's where the analogy breaks down. But if you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 20 touches, you have a stronger likelihood of getting the deal. Now let's see some examples. So I'm touching upon Roof Max again. Now with Roof Max, we see a whole host of demonstration. I'm not going to play the videos, but forgive me, I will play them, and forgive the noise that comes through.
There is never a good day on your roof. Temperatures can climb to over 140 degrees, causing the roof.
So see how that video is, it's not saying anything about Roof Max. It's building rapport. So it's stating some problems, and it's trying to meet the prospect in the conversation that they're having in their own mind. Now, that's important because they're catching people at the top of that funnel. Now, as people watch that video, which is only 60 seconds, so it's not terribly long, they show this one. Now, this one I started to watch just a little bit, and let's just listen to the start.
Hi, my name is Mike, and you've probably seen my videos talking about how the black streaks and stains.
So literally he's stating the actual dating process. So I've forgotten his name already, but he states his name, and you might have seen my videos. He knows you have, because this is retargeting. This is the second date. He's not saying, in the dating process, you don't go to, you don't say the same things on the second date as you said on the first date. Why would you? So he is creating the dating process, 1-step, 2-step, 3-step, 4-step. And this is why these guys, I almost guarantee, are having 6-figure months selling this roofing product. And the reason why I think that he may even be more successful is that I think they're starting to franchise this. So like where we can see there. So really cool kind of business in terms of their ads. These guys know what they're doing. Fantastic. I'm going to show you another example now. So these guys are in the solar industry, and they are a fairly big solar company, and I'm going to do a breakdown of these guys in a future video. And I break down a whole bunch of contractor and construction businesses if you're interested in that kind of stuff, like going through all their marketing and breaking it down. That's kind of stuff's in my channel. But these guys, I'm going to stick to their English ads because I don't speak any other language other than English. But what we can see here, for instance, is tired of PG&E rates increasing year over year, switch to solar and control. So this is definitely top of funnel. So towards the top of someone getting into the solar industry. The reason I know that is that they're not saying anything product specific or brand specific. Loosely, you could say product specific, switch to solar, but not these guys in terms of solar or mentioning the brand. When they do show this type of stuff, then they follow up with more specific ads around the actual product and service in of itself. They've got testimonials, etc. And we can see here some more top of funnel stuff talking about blackouts and also rising energy costs. Further to this, it just shows you like the different style of ads. Like these are only 16 seconds, that one's 36, that one's only 7 seconds, most likely Instagram based stuff, etc. 17 seconds. These guys are called Sunrun. Again, go to the Facebook ads library, you can see their stuff, and we start to see testimonials now from people. Potentially, I haven't had a great deal of investigation around their stuff, but I assume these are testimonials based upon the ads. Let's have a look.
We like the fact that we can lock in our rates for 20 years.
So we've got testimonials. So they're taking them through the dating process. So really important. Another mistake that I see incredibly common with contractors and construction companies. So another real big problem that I see, and I don't have any kind of fancy like slides or examples for this, is just math. Construction guys and contractors love the work, and they're geniuses in the field. Like this if you're watching this video this far. Like you probably love to do the work. You don't like the admin stuff. I mean, I don't like the admin stuff in my business either. But I mean, the marketing side of thing is probably not that enjoyable, etc. You probably like the sales part because that's where you're making the money, and doing the work stuff because you probably started your business because you did like that style of work, and I understand that. The problem is that contractors don't understand some of the basic math around their marketing. So for instance, what does it cost you to generate a lead? Now, what is it costing you from? Some people are doing like letterbox stuff, which can work, But when it comes to your digital stuff, like what's it cost to get a lead on Google? What's it cost to get a lead on Facebook? What's it cost to get a lead in terms of any other style of marketing that you're doing? So that's really important, because then you can start to build out the math in terms of what does a Google lead cost to close. So like if I'm paying $100 a lead for a new home residential construction, how many leads do I need in order to make one sale? If it's 10, I'm paying $1,000 to get one new residential construction. But not only that, how often do I get a referral? So is it 5? So I'm paying $5,000 to get 5 jobs, but I'm getting the 6th one as well. That changes the math, especially once you start to grow and get more leads and you start to take on more projects. That doesn't matter if you're a construction or a contractor, bathroom remodeling, solar, moving company, it doesn't matter. It's still the same math. What's it cost you to generate a lead? What does it cost to close a lead down to the platform? Because if Google is doing so much better in terms of the lead cost between Facebook and Facebook is 20% apart, but Facebook is 20% cheaper, you might dedicate all your money, but Google closes twice as well. The leads are much hotter. They're much more qualified. Well, then you're best off dedicating more of your marketing budget to Google. But without that basic math, you don't know that. So that's like really, really, really big problems. The other problem is just even a generic ratio of like, what's the ratio of leads to actually closed deals and contracts signed? Like that's really important too, because then you can actually start to build out the math and plan. So like if you're selling like 1 in 5, so if you can generate a lead for, let's say, if you're doing bathrooms or something like $30 to $50, it saves $50 because it's loosely round, it's $250 to get a bathroom remodeling, kitchen remodeling. Solar, it could be, let's say you're paying, it doesn't matter, it's the same math. If $50 a lead, $100 a lead, $20 a lead, doesn't matter, it's the same math. Is what's your closing ratio, multiply that by the lead cost, and you've got your closing cost, you've got your signed deal cost. And that allows you to factor in your margins, so you spend on, factor in your margins, that's not right. It allows you to actually calculate your margins more accurately. Then you've got like your referral stuff. Referral stuff's like one of the most disastrous thing that I see, and I haven't actually included this in mistake, but let's just say mistake, this is a clause to the mistake. If you can double the amount of referrals, which is not hard because most contractors and construction companies aren't doing anything, double the amount of referrals, you change your cost per contract cost, because instead of like, if you're getting a closed deal 1 in 10, referral 1 in 10, and you get that to 1 in 5, it makes a huge difference. Like you're substantially lowering the cost of what it takes to generate a general signed contract or closed deal within your business, and you're making your marketing more efficient. And referral generation is nowhere near complicated or expensive. It might cost you a couple of dollars, for example, per actual client. You might spend $100 to make it more personalized and stuff like that, especially if you're doing big like residential deals and stuff. You might want to spend a bit more time personalizing and etc. and a bit more money because the deals are so much larger. But I've digressed a bit, but getting the math right is so important, and it goes for any business, but specifically for contractors and construction companies. There's a ton of mistakes in the construction and contracting industry in relation to marketing. These are some of the most common ones that I see, and I hope this video has been helpful. Like I've been in this industry, like I started way back, actually like 14 or 15 years ago, working with clients around the world in different industries in construction and contracting. But I started with my dad actually, and he had his own bathroom remodeling business and stuff like that, and I was forced to learn the world of marketing. But and it just that the psychology and the numbers and stuff really resonated with me, to be honest, and I still love it to this day, 14, 15 years later kind of stuff. And my dad's sold his company now, and he's pretty much retired. But I've done so much testing and things like that. Like I've ran over like 600 A/B split tests and created hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of landing pages and stuff like that. So that's how I've come to know these common mistakes that I see within contractors and construction companies. So with that said, that wraps up today's video. Smash that like, smash that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And also, it's free to have a conversation and a free chat about your marketing. There's nothing like weird about like any kind of sales pressure and stuff like that. I don't believe in that all too much. I actually don't believe in it at all. But you know, if you want to do that, wander over to my website at brenhamel.com. You can jump on and smash one of the contact us buttons. They'll take you a little form. You and I schedule out a time to have a chat, and we'll just chat about your marketing, go through anything in relation to like Google ads, Facebook ads, emails and stuff like that. And yeah, there's no obligation to work with me, even ask about working with me. Believe me, I enjoy those conversations, I think, more than anyone else. And it'd be great to have a chat to you if you want to do that. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to catching up with you in the next one. Take care.